that I think is worth talking about much more than we do. Almost every poem in this collection is in conversation with a passage from the Negro in Chicago. You'll hear those passages at the beginning of each poem, with a page number representing the place where you can find the passage in the Negro in Chicago. The report is a publicly available document. I like to use poems as what-if machines and as time-traveling devices, and I'm grateful to have had the chance to do that with this project. I learned a lot, and I hope you learn something too, and then go tell someone else about it. Before. In the beginning of the 20th century, the first Great Migration was underway. Black people fled the South in droves. They sought an escape from sharecropping and the terror of lynch mobs that tormented innocents. They sought work and better lives for their children. They got on the train and found new homes. 50,000 Black people came from the South to Chicago between 1910 and 1920. Many of them were lured by the promises made in the Chicago Defender, the Black-owned newspaper that urged them northward on the train. Life in the big city was different than in Mississippi or Alabama, but it brought its own difficulties, including the reality of northern segregation, overcrowded and substandard housing, the challenge of finding work for fair pay, and the struggle to survive in a harsh new place. Exodus 1. The stimuli of suggestion and hysteria gave the migration an almost religious significance, and it became a mass movement. Songs and poems of the period characterized the migration as the flight out of Egypt, bound for the promised land, going into Canaan, the escape from slavery, etc. Page 86. Now these are the names of the people of Adeline which came into Mississippi: Margaret, Prince, Julia, Cora, Amy, Fanny, Celia, and Molly, Eugenia, Pearlie, Ida, Harper, Valley, and Rosa, Monroe, Stella, Rogers, Maybelline, Timaeus, and Early. And their people were fruitful and increased abundantly and multiplied, and their souls were mighty, and the land was filled with them. And in that land there were many kings, and great store cities to fill with cotton. And they put planters over the people, and overseers, and made the people tenants. And the people worked the land. But God was kind to the people. And the more the people were burdened to work the land, the more they multiplied and spread. So the planters began to dread the people, and worked them ruthlessly. And the kings held counsel. Behold, they said, the people are more and mightier than we. Come, let us deal wisely with them, lest they multiply, and it come to pass that they fight against us, and so get them up out of the land. And the people, so burdened, held counsel, and they said, the Lord our God smiles upon us. Why do we stay in the land of these kings? Come, every son that is born we shall cast into the river, and every daughter that is born we shall cast into the river. And the midwives made an ark of leaves and tar, and put the children therein, and lay them in the waters. And the people gathered at the bank, and bade them farewell. And the river carried them far from the cotton, and the kings, and their storehouses of browning blood. The train speaks. The presence of Negroes in large numbers in our great cities is not a menace in itself. Page 13. Even now I dream of them. Quiet nights in the rail yard when the little rat feet skitter beneath me, when the last of the strong men with his gleaming silver buttons has locked the door and laid his hands against me. I see them dancing in every passing cloud. My babies, my babies. Born unto me in the hills and green lands, loose threads catching in my sharp parts when they don't watch out, blistered hands hauling parcels of burlap as hefty and shapeless as bound cotton. They move like rabbits then. They look for a lash that isn't there. Even them that never felt it, it's in their shoulders. The lash lives in their shoulders. Long after the last biscuit is gone, when the sunrise brings steel mountains,